Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Marvel Monday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the retro-carded Fantastic Four Mr. Fantastic. Thank you for watching this video or any of my other videos that you may have run across, which I hope is all of them. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe, if you'd like to see more reviews, or just to help the channel out further. That's cool too. All of the above. That's awesome. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. And with all that said, let's get into it! And first up, as we normally do here on Digital Caveman Presents, let's take a look at the packaging. And to start off with the Marvel Comics logo from back in the day, which is, that is the logo I really like. Marvel Comics. I mean, the red and white block is fine too, but I like that one. Four and up, there's the fake Prism Fantastic Four symbol. Fantastic Four, the artwork that takes you back to that Marvel Power Hour cartoon. Or not. Warning! Don't stick things in your pie hole that don't belong there. Hasbro print. Nice blister showing off Mr. Fantastic and his accessories. And then there's some nice artwork of Reed doing his stretchy thing, Mr. Fantastic. And from the top you can't really see anything. Bottom, side, it's just a blister on a card, folks. That's why it's a blister card. Marvel Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic doing stretchy things again. And then an illustration showing where you can change parts out. Mr. Fantastic. As Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards utilizes his scientific brilliance and pliable form to make a difference in the world. And there it is, repeated in other languages that I do not read. Fantastic Four also look for the cross sale, Mr. Fantastic, the Thing, Invisible Woman, Human Torch, Psycho Man, and the High Evolutionary. Each sold separately, subject to availability. Recycle print, Hasbro print. Warning! Don't stick things in your French pie hole. Achtung! Don't stick things in your other foreign language pie holes. Small print, fine print, legalese print, made in China print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. And that, my friends, does it for a look at the packaging. And now let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And his accessories are an extra set of arms. And with extendo fingers, rubber fingers, whatever you want to call them. He's reaching out, probably to stop Ben from killing Johnny again. So there's this arm, and this arm, which is the same, just opposite. That's weird, same but opposite. And let's take a look at the figure himself. It is definitely Reed Richards' looking. I thought it was perhaps be on the same body as Human Torch, but it's not, because his abs are much less defined, which they should be, because he's one of the rubber people. But here he comes with, his lab coat. And these arms, lab coat arms. So, basically like this, he's just kind of traffic coney. Or conish. We are from France. No, we're not. We're Americans. So, let's see what his articulation is like with the coat, and then maybe we'll look at what it is without the coat, because that's what these arms are for, is without the coat. So, but I like the face sculpt. It's very Reed Richards-ish. Nice paint job. the white at the temples could be a little more defined maybe. But other than that, just fine. He can, of course, do the full Exorcist. Look up this far. Look down that far. These arms, better than 90 degrees. Full 360 degrees of rotation at the shoulder. Cut at the upper bicep for another 360 degrees of rotation. A double hinged pinned elbow gives you that much range. And an open hand 360 degree swivel on an in and out hinge. And the other hand is also on an in and out hinge. And we'll look at the other arms when we get to that. He does have an ab crunch with the coat. You can't really get anything back. You can get that much forward. He does have a cut at the waist for a full 360 degrees of rotation. Coat doesn't really get in the way of forward kick. Back kick, it does. And of course, you can't see how far his legs will go apart. He does have a cut here at the upper thigh for supposedly a full 360 degrees of rotation, but it's really tight. There we go, all the way around. And then we'll look at the knees. Well, it's a double hinged pinned knee. It goes that far, which is probably about what it'll get without the jacket also. No cut at the boot, so no boot cut, which is odd. Ankle can go down that far, can go up that far, and of course a forward facing pin for rocker. Now give me just a moment and I'll swap the arms out. And then here he is with his arms all swapped out, and let's see, he can crunch back that far and still the same amount forward. Let's see, what it would not cover. He'll give you that much of the splits, and then I don't think he'll give any more. Well, yeah, he does give a little bit more at that double hinged pinned knee. But other than that, all the articulation is the same. Even on the arms, you know, you get more than 90 up, full 360 all the way around. That cut at the upper bicep, and the double hinged pinned elbow. Which gives you that much, which is about the same, I think. Let's see. Yeah, it's about the same. So there he is, out of his lab coat and ready for action. And of course, these hands also swap out. So if you don't want him to have, ow, sorry I bumped the camera and my elbow. So if you don't want him to have the extendo fingers, or rubber people tree fingers, whatever kind of fingers you want to call it, I suppose. Fantastic fingers. How about that one? You can swap the hands out, so that works also, to give him more of a regular look there. But there he is, Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. A look at him and his accessories. And now it's time for my favorite part of a review, the comparisons. And we will start things off with a couple of Toy Biz Mr. Fantastics. Here is the first Toy Biz Mr. Fantastic. How did that get on here? And as you can see, this one, the new one, is much, much better. The biggest difference on these guys is this one does have some butterfly. Other than that, the articulation is mostly the same, or at least the same points and the same types. This one, of course, does have a boot cut though. But this one is fairly old, and some of it is tacky feeling. And as you can see, he ended up with more white back here on the back of his head than he did at his temples. So, and the face sculpt is not great as compared to this one. That is much more Mr. Fantastic-y looking. This one definitely reminds me of Byrne's run on Fantastic Four. And then here is another Toy Biz Fantastic Four, and again, you know, he ends up with more white on the back of his head than at his temples. And the face on this one just kind of goofy looking. But he did come with a cloth lab coat, so that's kind of cool. And lastly, here he is with the Super Skrull Build-A-Figure Wave Mr. Fantastic, all bearded up and stuff. And you could probably pop this head off and put it on this one from, you know, in that late, I guess it was in the 80s. The late 80s. Maybe it was the early 90s when Reed had disappeared. Yeah, it was the early 90s. Reed had disappeared, and they had thought he was dead, and eventually they found him, and he had this big old beard, but it wasn't neatly trimmed like this. It was just mountain man beard. And here he is with flamed on Human Torch from the same wave, the retro carded wave. And here he is with flamed off Johnny. This one being the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Human Torch. And here he is with his wife, the Invisible Woman, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive version of Sue, Storm Richards. And here he is with the visible Invisible Woman from just the main line of the retro wave, and the bestest buddy he ever had, the ever-loving blue-eyed thing himself, Benjamin J. Grimm. It's clobbering time. And here he is with She-Hulk from the A-Force 5-pack. She-Hulk from the Super Skrull Build-A-Figure Wave. Here he is with the Mole Man from Hasbro's first Fantastic Four wave, I believe. And from the Super Skrull Build-A-Figure wave, here he is with Dr. Doom, the more modernish looking one. And here is the fan channel exclusive Dr. Doom from the retro card. Much, much more classic looking. And here is the Super Scroll. The Build-A-Figure from the Super Scroll Build-A-Figure wave, of course. And from the Fantastic Four Retro wave, the Psycho Man. And again, from the Fantastic Four Retro wave, here he is with the High Evolutionary. And here he is with a Toy Biz version of his son, Franklin. And a Toy Biz version of Herbie. And now, Stan the Man Lee, his creator. How does he stack up with other figures? Or other lines? Figures from other lines? Here's with Star Wars The Black Series Archive Wave 501st Clone Trooper. From G.I. Joe Classified Series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. And from McFarlane Toys, some 7-inch goodness, DC Multiverse Batman Beyond. That, my friends, completes the comparisons. For final thoughts on the Marvel Legends Fantastic Four Retro Carded Wave, this is the quintessential Reed Richards for me. I do like the fact that, you know, he had interchangeable arms and he came with a lab coat. You can put it on him, you can take it off him. You know, he can be in the lab or ready for action. This is the like I said, the quintessential version of the character for me. This to me screams John Byrne, and that's my favorite run from Fantastic Four, is the John Byrne run. Although there were some other good stories too. You can see he's not quite as muscular as some of the other figures, especially in the ab area. He does have some abs, but you know, if he wants abs, he can make abs because he's basically the rubber band man. I would like at some point to maybe see some type of accessory set for Mr. Fantastic, where, you know, he can have longer arms or longer legs or, you know, whatever. I don't know how well that would work for the legs, but you know, definitely we can have some like big, you know, stretchy with the big fist and stuff like that. That would be a cool accessory pack, Hasbro. Very cool. Or maybe a long neck. That'd be cool too. Or maybe even a bendy neck. Just things to think about, Hasbro, because I know you're watching this. I know you are. But that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very much for supporting the channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews or just to help the channel out. That's cool too. Both, that would be awesome. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.